I thought it'd be good to take a few minutes today to introduce you to CS260 and the things that you're going to be doing this semester. Um, I'm Dr. Mark Clement. I've been here for about 25 years. Love teaching web programming and doing it. It's one of my favorite things. So I'm hoping that this class will be one of your favorite classes ever in your time here at BYU. A little bit about the class. We'll talk a little bit about me, the structure and goals of the course, how you're going to make your way through the lab's creative projects, course materials and resources, and kind of give you an overview of the whole class. So first of all, I went to high school in Oregon and Washington. I miss the ocean a lot, but I like being here. And it's always been my dream to be at BYU, so I'm really excited to be able to be teaching you. I feel in the deep depths of my soul that God has a role in everything that goes on at this university, and I just feel a privilege to be able to be part of that. I actually have degrees in electrical engineering from BYU, and I started a little company with one of my professors selling Unix systems about the end of my undergraduate degree. And that was just an immense amount of fun starting a company. And one of the things that's cool about web programming is you can actually start a company with very little money. And then as you start getting customers and revenue, you can actually ramp up. So starting a company was a really fun thing for me. I then received my PhD from Oregon State University in computer science and came to BYU, and maybe a couple things I like to do. I really like to ride my bike, so I ride about 20 miles a day. And I like to go rock climbing and canyoneering, probably the other two things. So structures and goals for the class. You're going to learn both front-end and back-end web development skills. That will include HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Vue, Node.js, MongoDB. And in case you haven't noticed, that is like a good list on most of the most companies that are trying to hire somebody. They're going to want their employees to know those kind of things. So it really prepares you for a large number of jobs. I think that I've talked to students, and really if you've had 142 and 235 and 260, I think you can get a pretty good job. So I hope that you'll realize that this class is going to really prepare you to be a superhero and be able to create web pages, websites, front ends and back ends, and everybody around you will be just totally amazed at your skills. In terms of the way the class is going to run, we're going to have 7 units. Each will have a lab and a creative project. The lab is kind of canned, will be more structured. The learning activities often will be quizzes or other things in Canvas. And then the creative projects are an opportunity for you to just do something crazy that really interests you. And I'm really hoping you're going to spend most of your time in each unit working on the creative project, because that means you're going to be really involved in things you're passionate about. Course materials, we don't really have a book. It seems like as soon as a book is published, it's out of date. We'll often give you URLs to web pages. You don't need to read every word in those resources, but just read enough that you feel confident and know where to find more if you need it. Okay, so we will often try to teach you just enough at just the right times that you can be successful. We're going to use Canvas as a learning management system, and you can just kind of work through from the beginning to end in that learning platform, and I think you'll be in great shape. By the way, the same learning materials will be used for the online and the in-person sessions. So go ahead and whichever section you're in, you can work through that and hopefully be able to find everything you need to be successful in the class. The one downside, and the part that students who have trouble in the class are going to suffer from, is that they will just barely learn enough from Unit 1 to get things working. They won't have mastered it, which means that they will even master a little bit less in Unit 2, and by about midway through the class, they won't know where to go. So please stay up, read and practice enough that you feel confident in each of these technologies as we move on. And I think you're going to have a great time in the class. Again, learning web programming. I think that the best way that you can do it is to learn by doing. Go and find stuff, learn how to search for good things on the internet. We will talk about how to go find those things as we go through the class. And the real key is that as soon as you leave this class, a lot of the technologies you've learned will now be out of date. So really the valuable piece that you will take with you is the ability to know how to learn new technologies. And hopefully that's what you will leave with. I just love to hear when you know, a student for one of their creative projects has turned it into a company or has done something else that makes them really excited. The creative projects, by the way, are just that. You should be creative. You may not have had this experience very often in a class where we're going to tell you to, you know, find something that you're passionate about, whatever it might be, and then create a web application for that. So this would be a good time for you to start thinking about that. You know, what have I really wanted to do? What applications have I really wanted to create? And then you'll have the opportunity to do that through the class. I really think, I always kid with my classes that the material is going to be so exciting that they won't be able to break away to go on a date on the weekend. You know what I mean? During this time, that probably maybe even more so. But please keep up with the class, turning your assignments on time. I don't want to have a really complex late policy. So every assignment that you do, it will be noted in Canvas if it was late. And by the end of the semester, or maybe somewhere in the middle, you may start getting some reminders that we may reduce your total score by 1% per late lab or creative assignment with a max of 10% off. So please just stay up to date. And I think I don't want to be really picky about that. If you get sick or something, that will be perfectly, you know, we'll be accommodating of that. But we just want you to be successful in the class. So how to get help. They're going to find all kinds of resources on the internet. And I would just encourage you that if you're turning something in for credit, it needs to be your own work, not something you've copied from somebody else. We will also be using the Piazza system, which is kind of a chat type system where you can ask questions and get answers. Last time I taught this class, the average time to an answer was 39 minutes, which meant that, you know, a lot of them were, you know, 5 or 10 minutes they were getting answers to their questions. So it's a great platform for that. The TAs will be available, and it may take you a while to get to the front of the queue though. So anything you can do to minimize your time trying to go to the TA will be helpful. And then I will normally respond to emails within 24 hours. So don't be afraid to contact me if you have questions. So that's basically your introduction to CS260. I feel like if you'll jump in to the dashboard for CS260, you are going to find all kinds of information. Towards the top, you're going to have some stuff on how to use BYU Online's Canvas courses. And then you'll start to getting some other information on instructor and TA office hours, how to get help on Piazza, And as you work through all of these modules, I think you'll feel much more confident in the class. For each unit, there'll be this unit overview, which will kind of show you, you know, a calendar of things you have to do through that unit, and what learning activities will be covered as part of that particular unit. You'll then go ahead and see some the labs and the creative projects that are due there as well. And you can go ahead and click through these units if you want, or you can just use the Canvas navigations to read through the material. So I would encourage you on all of these items to, if you find something interesting, go explore a little further. This class, I think, is central to probably every profession you'll end up taking in your life. So I'm going to encourage you to not just learn it because you want to grade, but because you know that this is going to be very important to you throughout your career. So thank you, and we will probably produce some more videos for you as time goes on, but that's all for now.